Hey, it's me, Renee, for the mid-year freak out book tag, as it's one of the staples book tags that everyone does yearly. I think it's also used to like be a tag everyone would post in September, August, which I suppose also could be fitted and whatnot. And I think also be some of the versions of this because now I think about it, I think the question because I looked into questions. And the questions I have at the moment doesn't involve a question asking like full teen books. Do you want to read this fall? So that's interesting. But yeah, anywho, I'm here for the mid-year book tag. So let's start. Question number one: the best book you read so far? Honestly, I've read a lot of good books. So good books, great books this year. This was kind of difficult, but after a bit of thinking, I realized The Earl Takes It All by Lorraine Heath. Yeah, I had high expectations because I'm a Fate and Mates follower, the podcast, but also this book just lived up to the expectations so much. I love this book. It's bonkers, but also it's just bonkers good. And yeah, I love it in honestly all the ways. For me, honestly, I feel like this is one of the books where I don't really have any complaints. Well, I have like a minor complaint, but that's just minor. Like, more or less, the book is utter perfection. So, yeah, the Earl Takes It All, Lorraine Heath. And question number two: best sequel you read so far this year? Again, I read a few. I ended up going with The Wallflower Wager by Tessa Dare. This is the third in this series, and as of yet, the last one. Tessa Dare has been in health issues, so she hasn't really written anything the last few years. This one came out in 2019, but yeah, it's a very good book, and it's the third in the Wallflower series. So yeah, I mean it's a companion series as most romance books are, but still, I'm counting it. Okay, okay. Then we have blah 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 blah. Solid reads, 4-star favorites. So just kind of feeling like this is just got general mentions of books that you love this year. Again, this year has been a great year. I've read so many great books. And I just said solid read 4-star favorites. So I decided to go for 4 books because 4-star favorites, even though I would say these are actually 5-star reads, but I mean, the question was solid reads, 4-star favorites. And like, for me at least, when it's a favorite book of mine, I will give it 5 stars. I won't give it 4 stars. Well, depends a bit, but yeah. Anyway, this is how I'm going to interpret it. Anyway, so we have The League of Dangerous Young Ladies by J.A. Morgenstern. I read this on NetGalley and then I bought it physical. Very good book. I have a review of it. I actually have a review of all these books. Dreaming of You by Lisa Kleypas, the Dave Crane book. Datingdagboken av Victoria Larsen Stø, a Norwegian rom-com. Very much enjoy this. Love it. And now back to you by Becky Borson. This I suppose could also be counted for like as favorite sequel because it is a sequel. Like it's a romance companion series, but sequel because it takes place after the first book. I feel I don't know. Sometimes I feel like saying things are sequels when it's just kind of set in the same universe, but it's not like I feel like you can read one book without reading another book. But I suppose you will meet all the characters before, so that's also fun. I don't know, but yeah, this is also a 4 5-star read in my opinion. So good. Then we have blah 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 blah. New releases you haven't read yet, but want to get to. Now, I suppose you could ask yourself, how do you define a new release? Is it just books from this year? I mean, I have some books from, but yeah, honestly, I don't think. No, yeah, actually, none of these are from this year. Because also I'm looking at the wrong pile. Sorry, my fault. Give me a moment. I have a pile of new books, so I have a system here. So I just have to, and also have to fix blah 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 blah. Just wait to me. So we have here we have the new releases that I haven't gotten to yet. Romantic Hero by Kirsty Greenwood. I ordered it. I think I pre-ordered actually. Haven't gotten to it yet, but very much looking forward to it. Passion Project, which came out last year, but honestly, in my head, I'm gonna count that. I feel like new releases. I feel like that's. I mean, saying a book that came out last year is a new release, I would say that still counts, even though books are released every week. Yeah, but I won't really say it's a backlist. I feel like some people say backlist that is anything not from this year, but I also feel like that's a bit quick to say. For me, backlist is like 4 or 5 years ago, really, at least in my mind. But yeah, counting it. Offervilja of Tommy Ueland. This one also came out in the fall this year. Give me a moment. Last year. So in the fall. But I would say like it's not completely a year yet, so I'm counting it. Yesteryear by Carol Claire Burke. Yeah, as with everyone else, I've heard about this book, and this has come out this year. Haven't picked it up yet, but I'm wanting to go do that. Roles and Rivalry by Kirsty Boyce. This came out this year. I have started. Haven't gone far yet, but have started. So yeah, looking forward to getting to this book. Violet Fizzleweight is not a villain anymore. This one came out this year. What did it come in last year? Came out soon-ish, so I'm counting it. A Load of All the Balls by the QILs. History of Sport. This one came out this year in pocket, in paperback, so I'm counting it. And now we have Behooved by M. Stevenson. So when a book is this tall, it's a new book. So yeah, all books, recent releases that I'm very much looking forward to get to. Biggest surprise. Here I'm going to go with Paris Delacourt is About to Crumble by Alexis Hall, which is a sequel to Rosalind Palmer Takes the Cake. So it's a second in this trilogy. And so Rosalind Palmer Takes the Cake, yeah, it was serious at times and whatnot, but I would say more or less it was like, I would say it was quite fluffy. And I would say also the third book is also fluffy at times. This book wasn't that fluffy, which I kind of expected going into it. I mean, I would still call it a romance, but it doesn't really end with them being in each other's arms. It ends with them like thinking, we want to resolve this, we want to get back together, but it's kind of like on the edge, I suppose, in a way. I feel like maybe honestly, kind of we could have write a sequel to this book, like with this couple. Though we do know from their next book that they are still together. But yeah, this book, yeah, it's a surprise in some ways. It's also like I'm thinking, I read it this January. I feel like, I mean, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. But I'm also kind of thinking, should I give it away? I don't know. Will I reread it? Will I? Because honestly, I'm not a person who keeps books just to keep them. I keep book if I love the cover or if I'm gonna reread it. This book, I don't know. I don't quite know, but that's where we are. Let's give me a moment to find the next question. Next question is biggest letdown, which I had two options here, but I ended up going with Give me a moment. Blah 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 blah. The Jewel of the Isle by Kara Ria, which I already gave to charity because, yeah. So the cover looks so stunning, and it's all about a jewel that's like they wanna like it's a archaeological archaeological romance. There are two people they see uh murder happening very quickly in the book, so like okay, things gonna happen, and you know that because of how it's in summary. And then honestly, the book itself, like it was an interesting premise, but I would say maybe that's the best of it. I didn't really. The writing was subpar in my mind, and honestly, kind of felt like a Hallmark movie. If I'd seen it as a Hallmark movie, like with like very cool actors, maybe I loved it. But as a book, no, no, it didn't live up to my own hype. I mean, it wasn't really hype ever. It was just kind of because I hadn't heard of the book really. Just like I found the book randomly through googling, but yeah, yeah. So yeah, that one. Then we have blah 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 blah. Favorite author? So here I'm gonna go with. Give me a moment. Give me a little bit of a moment with it. Yeah, Key Boyson, because I read the first and the second book this year. And I have a Big Boyson book that's not part of this series, but that's a Christmas book, so I'm gonna read it during Christmas. But yeah, I read two Big Boyson books and love them so much. So definitely my favorite authors. Over for me. Hmm. Hmm. And newest favorite character? Newest favorite character, I would have to say it's a bit of it's a bit of what's the word I'm thinking about? It's a bit of like obvious. It's a bit of a yeah, anyway. But I'm gonna go with Daniela Gutierrez in this book because she's a librarian. And yeah, I just love her as a character. I mean, I will say, like, honestly, a favorite character, I feel like all the books with great, like, books have good characters also, at least in my mind. So could you just say, like, books from, like, any of the five-star reads I read this year? But gonna go with this one, just specifically. Hmm. La ba da ba dum ba dum ba da ba dum. Book that made you cry? Honestly, I don't think that. Well, I suppose the question was the biggest cry. I don't think I actually cried that much this year, but I did cry a bit because it's kind of difficult not to, even rereading. So I reread Spiritbound, or also the Vampire Academy series. And I remember reading this book back in May, and I was quite emotional. Like, even though it's a reread, it is like at times it's like, no, 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 I don't. Why is this happening? You just, yeah, you're kind of close to tears. Like, and if you're not like uh, crying your eyes out, you're at least like you're just sitting there thinking like, what is going on? Even though, as I said, it's a reread, but like still, I suppose that's kind of like the thing that matters is that if the writing is good enough, you will feel that, even if it's a reread. At least when I do rereads, that's how it affects me. So yeah, that book, blah 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 blah. Yeah, and then next question is book that made you happy, which all the five-star reads. I'm just gonna cop out and just say all of them. I can't say mention a single one that's like that one made me happy. Well, okay, you know what? All of them, but also this one, honestly, because it's just so amazing. I love it so much, so much. So yeah, hopefully it'll be translated to all the languages in 5 hours. But right now it's just available in Norwegian, though it's also a very beautiful cover. So yeah. Then we have the next prompt question. Most beautiful book? Again, I would say there's quite a few beautiful books, really, or beautiful picture, beautiful. Wait, you know what? Did I? Yeah, yeah. Was this one of the photograph? Yeah, it was. Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. Like double second guessing my choices, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Fagottkårets Lilla Rosa. I love how shiny the title is, the picture in the middle here, and yeah, I think it's a very beautiful book, really. Shiny! I like it. Sorry, I love it. To be precise. Then we have, what books do you want to reread this year? Or like rest of the year, of course. So here we have A Love is for Losers by Vibeke Bruggemann. I've been wanting to reread this for a little while, and yeah, I've been saying I wanted to do it before, and then I haven't. I mean, I do still reread books, but also there's so many new books to read out there, so sometimes rereading gets kind of forgotten about. And I sometimes end up rereading like specific books. Or like I might reread a book if I'm like doing a body reread it, but like not else. And then we have The Boyfriend Project by Farah Jean. I think I actually only read this once, and I do kind of want to reread it. Been a little while since I read it. Role playing Kathleen Yardley. I just love this book, and I feel like it might be like a fun book to pick up this fall. And then we have No One Ever Has Sex on a Tuesday by Patricia Bloom. So I picked this up, well, I've shown it in a few videos recently, and I kind of thought, you know what, I want to reread it. Because I remember loving it. I don't really remember that many details. And yeah, I want to read it again. I do. So, yeah. Hmm. Give me a moment. Blah, 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 blah. I hope you enjoyed the mixed reviews. Again, I don't know, I feel like most books have mixed reviews. So I don't really have an answer here. I mean, take a pick, really. Hmm. Series you want to finish before the end of the year? So here we have blah blah blah. A Prayer for the Crown Shy. Now, technically, I haven't started this series, but it is a duology, and I now have both books. So I feel like, yeah, honestly, why haven't gotten to this yet? So yeah, and then we have To Be Taught If Nothing, If Fortunate. So it's the Wayfarer series, and yeah, I read the first book 3 years ago, 2 years ago at least. And I wanted to continue it. Well, that was the companion series, but still, I wanted to continue it, and I just haven't. And I do have, I believe I have the whole series. I'm missing one book. I don't quite know, but I do want to continue it. So, yeah, this series. But also, again, the magic. Now, again, it's a companion series, but this book, you're introduced to West. Sorry, I'm not going out. You're introduced to Westlake, Lord Westfield, Westman. Yeah, anyway, you're introduced to one of the characters that ends up in that is a main character in another book. So I'm counting this book, okay? I'm counting it, even though like is it a part of the series? I suppose it would kind of be like a prequel-ish. So yeah, Westfield, West Ham, Westworth. I don't remember. It's not Westworth. It's just me saying something out of West. Something West. Anyway, he's the main character. Well, the first of the main characters in the Ravenel series. No, in the Wallflower series. It's not the first book. Anywho, it's one of those books characters. So yeah. Hmm. Blah 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 blah. Give me a moment. Hmm. And then we have, yeah. Give me a bit of a moment. Fix some stuff there and there. 5-star predictions for the rest of the year. Here I'm going to go with haven't been entirely honest with you. Sorry, I haven't been entirely honest with you. My round of heart. This one came out last year. Last year in a pocket paperback. I don't know how I haven't read it yet. I'm a silly goose. I'm a silly goose. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, I do want to get to it. And also, we still have non-fiction November, Star Wars September. But also, you don't need to have an excuse to read a book by someone you want to read. So yeah, this book. Renee, get to it. Get to it. Love Light Farms. Again, it's a BK Boyson book, so I feel like it's pretty obvious it's gonna be a very good book. So, yeah, 5-star prediction. Medici Heist by Caitlin Schneiderhan. I've had this on my shelf for a little while now. It's huge, you see, so it's the oldest paperback. Yeah, but it just also sounds so cool and fun. So, yeah. Voyage of the Dam by blah, 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 Francis White. I've heard so much good things about this book. Started and then haven't continued for a weird reason. But yeah. 10 Things I Hate About a Jew by Loretta Chase. I've heard great things about Loretta Chase. Loretta Chase. Haven't read anything by her yet. So yeah, I feel like this. Yeah. I'm also like, I love 10 Things I Hate About You. So just from that alone, I'm just gonna guess that I will love this book also. The Clue, The Worlds by Jeremy Lachlan. This is the first in this trilogy. Quartet? Trilogy? It's a Melville series. This is the first in the series. So I have the first two books. And yeah, I'm very curious and also very excited to get to it. The Duchess Hunt by boom, boom, Lorraine Heath. I have gotten some Lorraine Heath books that I haven't gotten to, like after reading The Old Texas All. Heard very good things about this one. So, yeah. Obviously, that's going to be a 5-star read. How could it not be? I don't believe it's not going to be. I don't believe that. Blah, blah, blah. Most anticipated releases for the second half of the year. So we have The Wild Zone by Rick Riordan and Annabelle O, which is his new series was announced back in May and is starting to it's coming out in September, and I think that the next book is coming out soon after that, and I'm looking forward to that so much. Obviously, Queen of Lombard Street by Lisa Kleypas. I mean, yeah, I say more. It's a Kleypas book, of course. I'm looking forward to it. And then we have blah 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 blah. Did I not? No. And yeah, then we also have The Sea of Charms by Sebert Durst. And except that, I don't quite know what I'm looking forward to the rest of the year. I don't quite really have I don't really quite have I'm not sure about what's coming out in the fall of books I would be interested in. So I don't know. If you have a book that you're looking forward to this fall that's coming out, please tell me. My TBR always wants to be longer. But yeah. Hmm. And then the next question is, which book do you need to read before the end of the year? Which I feel like it's kind of like need. Do I need to read any books? I want to read books. I don't need to read any. Though I suppose in a way, yes. I mean, we have the Bloodlines books, which I'm going to read along with Amber. So need, but also I would say more like want. But then in general, you know, my TBR shelf. I mean, I have joined High Cred, which is the hardest reading challenge you can ever do. And yeah, I have a lot of books that I have not gotten to. So yeah, uh, it's not like I'm gonna read them all. That's not gonna happen. But just like books from the shelf, I'm still shaking around the camera. Sorry, but yeah, need. But just kind of in general, want. I would say more. Probably better to say it. Blah 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 blah. Hmm. Sorry. Do you think you'll reach your reading goal by the end of the year? Yeah. I think that's not really going to be an issue. At the moment, I'm at blah blah blah. Give me a moment. I'm at 102 books finished this year, and my reading goal is at 185. Though, I mean, most years I end up reading around 200 books, but like start there. I suppose maybe I'm gonna change it to like 200. I suppose I could do that. But also right now I'm 4 books ahead, so I feel like maybe I'm just gonna change it to 200 when I'm like at book 190, because then it's just got will be so many books ahead. I don't know, but yeah, maybe I'll up the reading goal. Might do that. Haven't like made a date for that, but maybe I'll do that. But yeah, so far that's really good, I would say. Blah blah blah. So don't think that's gonna be an issue to finish my goal at all. Oh yeah, I'm also yeah, I have a like a goal to finish like, but also my goal like because the last 10, I would say honestly more books. Honestly maybe last 20 around there. I've been like reading 100 books a year for many years now. So I feel like for me, saying 100 books is just gonna be easy busy really. But also, so like me saying 185, it's because like 85, 185 would be like stretching it, but I'm like stretching it, but like 100, it's gonna be easy peasy. So like because I read so much books, so many books, I know I'm gonna read 100 books. I don't know if I'm gonna read 110 or 180, but yeah. Yeah. And then the next question is any other goals for the rest of the year? And yeah, so I kind of like I have this thing. It sounds weird. So I normally go to this music quiz, which is well, like once a year, once a month. That's in a pub quiz in town, and that's been very fun. So I'm gonna continue to do that. But also, I haven't really tried any new quizzes. I used to go to like one pub quiz weekly, and then that stopped. But I mean, there are lots of pub quizzes around where I live. So do you want to try some new ones out? I have made a plan to try one next week when you've seen this next week. And so I feel like I might do some of them in August because some friends of mine like quizzes, but they can't really normally in the fall they don't really have that much time. So I feel like I might do that in August because it's easier then. So yeah, try my pub quizzes I would say. Other than that, I kind of want to get into coloring books and yeah. I suppose also, yeah, I have like a yeah, I suppose not that difficult at all, but like also another goal of mine is to try more pubs. Like I have some pubs that are like um that I'm a regular at, but there are some pubs that I still haven't been to. And I would say I've been to most of them in actually Sandnes. I don't know why I suddenly gave you a place name, but I did. But I haven't been to all of them in Stavanger, so I kind of want to try more of those. So if I'm gonna do like one pub to pub, I'm going to like do them like going to one pub one night and then another one next night. I don't know, but yeah, that is a goal I would say I have. It's not really a difficult one, I suppose, in a way, but it is something that I have. So yeah. Anything else? No, that's kind of it. And that was also the last question. So yeah, if you haven't done this yet, because I feel like this is kind of like a tag people might be doing early in July and whatnot. You haven't done it yet. Tag your it. And I suppose also, if you're just like a viewer of mine, you could just answer the question. Answer those two questions. Either one, a book that you're looking forward to reading this fall. That's either a new book or just a book you want to read. Or B, do you have a goal that's not reading related, like for the rest of the year? And yeah, see you soon. Bye.